Hello friends, welcome back to a brand new video. Today I am back here in Genshin Impact because I'm going to be doing the final part of a video that I started a few days ago, and that is testing out to see if my old teams still fit in today's meta. If you haven't watched the previous video that I did of this, you don't have to, but it will kind of fill in a lot more context than this one. I had 8 teams in total, and so I split it in half. I did 4 teams the other day, and now I'm doing the final 4 teams in today's video. Now, of course, I've got to bring back in my notepad, and here are the final 4 teams that we are going to be using today. The first one is what looks to be a almost all DPS team with Kogami, Hu Tao, Ganyu, and Ayaka. The next one is Mona, Bennett, Venti, Razor. And the third one is Kogami, Klee, Ganyu, Ayaka. And the last one is Kogami, Denjo, Traveler, Ganyu, and Razor. Now, as I go into each of these teams, I'm probably going to give some context and explain where I found them and why I use them. But without further ado, let's just get started into the first team. Now, as I said before, our first team is going to be Kogami, Hu Tao, Ganyu, and Ayaka. And this, I think, is a bit weird because I did have a habit of, putting every single DPS that I was using at the moment all in one team because I didn't have as many characters as I do now. And the characters that I used the most during that was probably Ganyu and Hu Tao. And I was like, oh, I like Ayaka, so I'll just stick her in there anyway. But the worst part of this team that is like an absolute eyesore to me is freaking using Kogami and Hu Tao on the same team. If you don't know what I mean by that, basically with Hu Tao's kit, she does more damage the lower her HP is. And having Coco on your team basically contradicts that entire thing. So I don't know what I was thinking, but hey, we're not here to judge, we are here to test. So let's get these 4 girlies in. Of course, because I still use these guys a lot, they are already built, but I will just share their builds quickly. Kogami is built as expected. Of course, she's got her best in slot weapon and a full HP build. She's C0 and her talents are 888. Hu Tao is looking a little better because of course she's level 90. This is her ratio. She looks great. She's definitely one of my best built characters, to be honest. She's got a deathmatch because I can't afford her main weapon. She's got 4-piece Crimson, she is C1, and her talents are 898. And then Ganyu, I already went over her build in my last video like 1,000 times, so I'm not going to worry about her again. But let's look at Ayaka here. She's pretty good. She's got a stereotypical ratio when it comes to having Blizzard. She's one of my okay built characters. One of the weapon choices that I lack a lot of is swords. I don't have any good DPS swords, so I have a lot of duplicates in there for that reason. So she's holding on to a weapon from the shop. She's got 4-piece Blizzard, and she's C0, and her talents are also 888. I'm just trying to think in my head about how I would go about using this team. Do I set down Kokomi and do a freeze and then melt it, or what? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but maybe I had something going on inside of my brain, but I guess we're gonna find out what it is, so let's test out this team. I wonder if, when I was going about using this team, I would just, depending on the enemy, I would pick a DPS to use, and then if I died, I would just use Coco. I don't know. What I'm gonna try to do is put down a bunch of cryo, and then melt it with Hu Tao, and then, heal her after? I don't know. I'm just gonna spam stuff. Okay. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Eee, I hate that I just did that. Whatever. It's okay. Let's do some charge attacks. I want to use them all. Okay. Well, I didn't get to use everybody, but wait. Can I get to second phase? No, I cannot. I will say, back in the day, I had one team of characters that I used consistently, and then whenever I got a new character that I wanted to use, I just subbed them in there. That's why Ganyu and Kogami are in there all the time, and my second and fourth character are, switching, because Kogami and Ganyu were, my strongest characters. I say that with huge air quotes, because they weren't really that strong. But, everybody else was kind of just, whatever, so I still think, though, that that team so far has done the most damage out of any of the other ones, which is good. but still not great because it was a little weird and clunky to play with. But let's take a look at our next team. So I can cross this team off, and next up we've got Mona Bennett Venti Razor. I don't think these teams are going in chronological order, but this team, a funny thing about this, I made up this team specifically for a video because I wanted to do a trend where you have to show off 2 teams that you use, but I only used 1 team, and any other characters I could come up with, they all sucked. So I just mushed together some random thing, and that makes this Mona Bennett Venti Razor thing. I think when I started this video, I knew that Razor was going to be very consistently showing up in a lot of these teams. I don't know why I decided to main him, to be honest with you, because I had a lot of other, well, no I didn't. I had other characters that I could have used, but honestly it's pretty interesting to me. Alright, I actually leveled 90'd my Venti pretty recently, so that's good. I'm probably just gonna lay down the 3 of these bursts and then just start spamming with Razor. There's no, like, alternate elemental application besides whatever Venti sucks up, which is probably gonna be Pyro, so I guess this is like some weird overloaded thing. At least it's not 3 DPS characters, so I'm a little bit more clear on what to do. Oh, and I almost forgot that I was going to show the builds because I've been doing that. So Mona, for me, is strictly a support, and she's been like that for a while, as you can tell by this wonderful ratio that we've got going on there. I use her mostly for the Thrilling Tales buff. She's got 4-piece Instructor because I like Elemental Mastery, and she has C4, actually my highest Constellation 5-star that I ever have, and her talents are mediocre at best. Now when it comes to Benny, he's the character that I rely on for the Noblesse set. I only have 1 Noblesse set and it's kind of trash, but it is what we have. All we needed is this anyway. His weapon, he's got Favonius for that extra energy because God knows Benny needs energy. He is C5 and his talents are pretty okay. Could level this one up more, but you know, it's what it is. And Venti's pretty typical. I have him as like a hybrid DPS meddling support unit. He's got Skyward Harp, and he's got 4-piece VV, and his C0, and his talents are 5, 7, 8. Could be a little bit better, but nah, it's whatever. And then Razor, you probably remember from the last video, his build is a little scuffed. Oh, it's because I gave this back to Eula. I need to take that back for a moment. And he's got 2-piece Pale Flame, 2-piece Attack, C5. His talents are alright, and this is his ratio overall. He's got some ER and everything. But that is this team, so let's go see what happens. Alright, I'm probably gonna do Venti first, then Bennett, then Mona, so I can get that Thrilling Tales boost. And I guess we'll just see what happens. Yeah, I knew it would trigger Pyro. Okay, yeah, that was something. I'm pretty sure that the first team that I showed today actually came after the one that I just did just now, which is interesting because this one has so many supports, because I think that was just kind of what I had left over. But you do know what that means. We are on to the final team of today and this little series. Okay, oopsie, I actually lied. We've got 2 left. So we've got, oh great, another variation of the first one, but with a slightly worse character, that being Klee, and then we've got this thing. I remember this one. I remember using this when Sumeru first came out because I hadn't used Razor in a long time, and then I was like, oh, Dendro-Electro reactions are really good, so let me pull out my first main who sucks a little bit. And then let me just put the one element that doesn't react with Dendro in there too. I mean, the idea is there, but I don't know if the execution is as good as I wanted. I have a feeling that this one's gonna go pretty similar to the first one, and it's not gonna be as good, because I haven't used Klee seriously I mean, it's been a while. Probably since I used this team, so that's what, 3 years? And she has no artifacts on because I completely stripped them off of her. She doesn't even have a weapon, bro. I bought her outfit and everything, and she doesn't have anything. I think I might just take Yenfei's stuff because, ironically, I use Yenfei more than I use Klee. So let's just make this into our new Yenfei. Alright, there she is. She's got all of Yenfei's stuff, including her weapon, which is ironic that I use Klee's best in slot on a 4-star. She's C0, and her talents are 988. Her final ratio looks a bit like this, which is really actually pretty good for Klee. And then everybody else in this party we have already gone over, but at least Klee meshes a bit better with Kogami than Hu Tao does, so... Alright, here we are, back with this guy. I'm just gonna lay down everything and just spam Klee, because she deserves to see some sunlight. Oh, she's so clunky. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is Horde. Horde? Come on now. Blow up. Don't kill me. Oh. I remember why I stopped using Klee. Oh, she's so cute. But her attacks are just so slow and I can't handle it. Oh my goodness. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there dedicated to building their Klee, and they're probably all very upset right now, but I will definitely say that team was... I mean, as blasphemous as it is, I think I still like the Hu Tao one better. Alright, we can scratch this one off. And we've got Coco Dendro Traveler Ganyu Razor. So this was like my first variation of like a sort of Alhaitham official kind of thing, because like I have a team actually like that I really do use, if I can find it. Ah, here it is. Yeah, this one. This is one that I actually use on a regular basis, which I think is what this one was trying to imitate, which, I mean, I respect that, because, you know, Alhaitham wasn't released yet, Nahida wasn't released yet, so resources in that aspect were very limited, and this honestly is not the worst thing. Probably one of the best ones I've seen today. Traveler, I'm gonna have to change to Dendro Traveler for this. So I'm pretty sure everybody in this team, of course, is built except for me. Yeah, we've got the Cannon Dull Blade, so let's mess around with this and make like a Dendro Elemental Mastery thing. Alright, so I've slapped a mediocre build on her. This is what we're standing with. I gave her one of my shop swords because she desperately needed crit damage. So here's her 2-piece thing. The Dendro version of her is C6, and I'm not sure what her talents are, so let's go figure that out right now. Alright, as expected, she's C6, and her talents are the same, so hey, I don't mind that. Everything else for her is the same, so let's get back and see how this goes. I think chronologically speaking, this team is actually the latest one that I ever did, because after this, I think I just started investing more time into learning about elemental reactions and how certain characters mesh with each other. So, yeah. This is so weird. Oh, 20k Traveler. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We got a little bit under halfway. I don't think that that's too bad. You know what? I think despite the damage not being as high as that one freaky Hu Tao team, I think this one just makes the most sense if you ignore Ganyu's existence. Because, you know, you've got that Hyper Bloom, which I think is great, and, you know, if you toss Ganyu to the side and put, like, Fischl in or something, like a normal person, that team has some great capabilities, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that does wrap up this little series. I hope you guys enjoyed where I went with it. If you have any more suggestions for like nostalgic videos, revisiting anything, doing something that I did in the past that just needs to be updated in general, anything else like that, any suggestions, whatever, feel free to leave it down in the comments and make sure to leave a like. That lets me know that you enjoyed my content. But yeah, that's all from me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Oh, I almost forgot to show the builds because I've been doing that. My Mona is strictly a support character, as you can see by this wonderful ratio that we've got going on here. What the hell? What the hell? She's supposed to have Thrilling Tales on, but she doesn't, and I'm not sure why, but there we go. And her talents are mediocre at best, just like everything else on my account. Benny, of course, as I said earlier, he is running...
What the hell is going on?
Oh my god, okay. He's supposed to be running Noblesse, but he's not. I'm not gonna call you. You probably don't know how to use a phone, you... Hi! Oh, hi, kitty. Do you want to help me make a video that nobody's probably gonna watch? Oh my god. What is happening in the kitchen? She's looking at me like I'm stupid. All I have to say is nothing. Actually, I don't really have anything to say. Now, when it comes to Benny, he's usually the character I rely on with that Noblesse boost. Boots.